Some novels are just best as just that. Novels. Nothing else. Nothing less, nothing more. Just keep them in the book. Hello everyone, my name is Max Aaron James. This is a review of the movie The Watchers, written by Ishana Night Shyamalan, M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, and A.M. Shine, who also wrote the novel that this is based off of. It is directed by Ishana Night Shyamalan. This film follows a woman who ends up stranded in a forest with some others who are being stalked by some strange creatures. And they're trying to figure out a way to get out of the forest without dying. I do want to note that IMDb wants you to know that the woman is an artist, but that element, although you can look back and think, maybe, yeah, she was an artist, but it's not like it was a important characteristic about the woman enough to put it in the, what's it called? Log line. Yeah. There are quite a few elements presented here that seem to be dismissed or forgotten as the story progresses, even by characters. They seem to forget what other people have said in the past, or even what they have said or warned about before, because they end up making the mistakes that they warned other people of doing. And I want to say this is probably just because of the movie. Maybe they shortened it for time. I have not read the novel, so I'm going to assume the novel is not as flawed, as messy, as disorienting as this film, and that there was more time allowed, more pages allotted for building, world building, character development for sure, and actually exploring different aspects of this world, especially because you can share what people are thinking and you can give more backstory to people without actually presenting it in the moment. And we become more invested just based off of that. The thing is, a lot of people don't realize that does not work with film. I do not care what the person has experienced or dealt with prior to the film, because yeah, we all have had, some bad things, for some people very traumatic things that have happened in our past, or things that we do not want to think about or regret, and we move forward with those things. We become more invested when we're able to see those things happen in the movie in real time, or happen and then we do a time jump. Every backstory we got for each character was dumped on us at the most inconvenient and unnecessary time, and you just knew based off that something's going to happen to you, or something dramatic is going to happen to all of you that's going to make you feel bad for someone. It's funny because the one person that did survive, she had no actual backstory, and I'm talking about a side character. She didn't really have a backstory, and we didn't really get to know her, so it's kind of obvious why she survived, because she's not going to die. Again, it's what we see in the moment through this film, through a film, that we really get invested. I mean, John Wick, we became more emotionally invested in John Wick losing his dog than any of the characters in this movie, because we were able to see it and understand the implications and the emotional attachment to the dog. Sometimes when I see a bad movie from a first-time filmmaker, sometimes I feel bad about how critiquing it, but not Nepo Babies. Nepo Babies, I would expect to know better, especially by the age that she is at. I did not know she was 24. I thought she would be much younger based on the quality of this movie. I'm sorry. When it came to this movie, the more information I got, the more questions I had, and none of them were answered. For a good amount of the movie, we saw nothing happening. They were just doing stuff that really didn't contribute to the story or didn't build on the world. And then all of a sudden, we got this first clunk of reveals all at once that could have been spread out through the time when they were doing nothing, but it was just jumped on us, and then we had to wait, and then more stuff was just dumped on us. And then we have the twist, or maybe two twists, and they were very underwhelming and disappointing. And I want to say like father, like daughter, but if this is based off a novel, I'm going to assume it's from the novel, unless she tweaked it to make it become a twist. I don't know. It was not good. I'm going to assume it was a better reveal in the book because, again, more time, more build-up, more pages allotted. There's no restrictions as far as having it be equivalent to a 3-hour movie. And her being Ishana Night Shyamalan being a first-time filmmaker, I know that they're going to give them restrictions. They're not going to allow some newcomer to just come in with a 3-hour film. I get it. Then there was a tonal shift at the end of the movie, or the last third of the movie, and it was no longer a horror movie. It was a fantasy film, and yeah, I was like, what's going on? And it's not, again, the story itself, it's just how it's presented and how it was executed, because you can do genre shifts in movies. It just did not feel earned, came out of nowhere, was never hinted at, and you're like realizing in hindsight, oh, that's what it is on the poster. Sometimes you need a level of awareness to understand how a story will translate to another medium and how general audiences will interpret it. And you definitely need awareness of your own limitations. I think Ashana Night Shyamalan should start or go to short films and develop her experience and skills with storytelling and move on and move from there. I mean, short films can still get a lot of attention. You could still win awards for short films. And you do build a rapport. You can build a reputation from short films. And I think that's where a good place to start. I mean, you have Martin Scorsese's short films are on Max streaming. You can stream Martin Scorsese's short films because it's Martin Scorsese, for one. But your dad can get you yourself streaming somewhere. I will say the score in this movie is fantastic, but it was wasted. Until next time, y'all take care of each other. Check up on one another. Make sure you check up on yourself. And remember, potential has no limit.